The Hate seems to be getting better and better every single Warframe update. First of all, it gets an Incarnon adapter, and nowadays we have a new augment mod. Alongside the two builds in this video, this weapon's gonna be an incredibly good weapon to try out, so let's hop into the video. Oh yes, a Stalker's signature melee weapon, the OG, better variant before the war came along and slapped it all over the place. The Hate got an Incarnon adapter a while ago, and slapping that baby on turns this weapon into an incredibly good weapon. What actually makes this weapon is the decent base stats, 70% of its damage coming through slash, 30% critical, 2.5 times critical multiplier, and 20% status chance or no laughing stats. Slap that Incarnon adapter, and then you have something much better. First of all, when you reach a 6x combo, you will unlock the Incarnon form in a game. Do a heavy attack and there you go. The Incarnon form launches spectral daggers at your crosshair. The damage is very good. It is affected by universal damage sources, and it's not affected by Prime Pressure Point or Arcane Fury, but is with Conditional Overload. There's also an explosion that deals 50% of the Hate's base damage as pure heat. We also have a melee damage increase of 100%, sprint speed, and bullet jump. Now, Evolution 2, we have a Swordsman's Flourish. This is the one that I use, increases your damage by 30 and your combo count chance by 100%. Now, Stalker's Legacy is pretty good, and you can use it if you equip the Dread and Despair. You get 30 initial combo alongside the damage increase, which is very good, but I don't have the Despair because I sold it a while ago. Evolution 3. This is honestly personal preference. I have Orc Reach, which gives me 0.8 range. We also have Swift Break, and we have Resolute Force. 60% heavy attack windup speed, and 10-second combo duration, or responding evolutions, and they're all three of these are actually pretty good, so I would use whichever one you find fitting. Evolution 4. I use Absolute Valor. This increases my critical chance by 10%. We also have Absolute Dominion. This increases your status by 20%, and Subtle Force, increasing your critical chance and status chance by 6 and 10% respectively. What makes this weapon even better? What is the new augment mod and where do I get it? Go onto your Nightwave right there in the bottom right hand corner, and you can acquire it by leveling up your Nightwave. What does this actually do? When you damage an enemy that already has a heat inflicted on them, they become 120% more vulnerable to status damage. This stacks multiplicatively with melee elementalist and faction damage mods. Using this build will make it even better. We have a simple condition overload blood rush build, Burning Hate, Galvanized Elementalist, Dreamer's Wrath, and melee influence. Of course, we have electricity here, Weeping Moons, and other mods, but you can see them. The ones that I want to explain the most are going to be Dreamer's Wrath. I would recommend you use this. 10 Ukai attacks are going to be incredibly good, and it's going to do even more damage, and heavy attacks, almost not one-shot crowds, but almost entire rooms. Melee influence helping out with that. This will allow you to basically nuke entire rooms. This is the second build that I use. This is switched up a little bit. We're using Galvanized Steel here as well instead of Blood Rush, but with this you're missing out on the constant orange, sort of red crits. You do gain more critical damage through this build and through this playstyle. You can honestly use whichever one you want. I use sort of both, switching on occasion. But one thing you can use is melee afflictions. If you are able to fling or knock down an enemy with your melee weapon, you're gonna increase the stacks of that enemy of a certain status effect by 6 times. So applying 6 more stacks on an enemy, which is gonna get knocked down, and with this stance and this weapon, you're gonna be able to fling them around like they're nothing. Melee afflictions is definitely a good way to go. I do also have a ribbon for this weapon. I don't use it. This is what it looks like. It's not used in the video at least, but I do use it on occasion. It is pretty decent. What helps this weapon out the most is the primer of choice, the Epitaph. This is what my build looks like. We have Viral, Blast, Heat, and Cold, of course, as being native to Epitaph's damage. We have everything we possibly need. Secondary Dexterity, helping out with our combo as well, and our damage of our Epitaphs. We have a perfect sort of cute little combination here. Nautilus helps out as well with crowd controlling, and as you might be seeing in the gameplay, different Warframes that can buff this weapon and influence its damage are gonna be even better. Warframes like Varuna, Yome, Kome, whatever you want to say. Revenant is, as you may have seen, not the best option, but having the Epitaph is really good. Having a Warframe that's gonna even buff this damage of this weapon even more makes this weapon better tenfold. The weapon is already good in and of itself. You can use it in 99.9% of your gameplay without needing to worry about dealing damage and killing acolytes or enemies because of the weapon's high sort of nuking capability abilities with melee influence and being able to clear enemies with the pure amount of damage that you're dealing. I would highly recommend you pick this weapon up, see how it plays, see how you like it, and I would definitely recommend you use it for at least a little bit and see that, yeah, maybe this weapon is just incredibly good now. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. This has been your lovely host, me, the Gaming Weasel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. I'm over and out.